Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY Dreaming, and on today's video tutorial we're going to use some of my favorite things. We're going to use this is an older embroidery hoop. We're going to be using some canvas duck. This is pretty thick. We're going to be using some white vintage mother of pearl buttons, and these are the buttons that I just found on our trip to Oregon. And then we're going to be using some of these zippers, which I was not looking for, but I found at a thrift store in Sun River, Oregon. I think that's where it was. While we were out visiting our son, we're gonna use a stencil. This one, it says, "Perhaps you were created for such a time as this." It's Esther 414, but we're just going to use the floral part. We might use some lace. I can't decide. Anyways, it's going to be a surprise to you and a surprise to me how it turns out. So this is a specific zipper that we're going to start with. The first thing that we need to do is get our little canvas that's going to go inside of this embroidery hoop. We need to get it prepared. And I did I ironed it and I put it in the hoop so I could see basically where my design would need to go. And then I folded it in half and just pinched it to figure out where the center was. Okay, and I'm going to use, I think, a mixture of, this is called glittering silver ink, and this one is called gray owl ink, and we're going to use this stencil. All right, so how is everyone doing? As you are hopping on, say hello to me. I haven't been live doing a craft in more than a week because we have been visiting our son in Oregon, and oh my goodness, I have totally missed you. Missed crafting, missed everything. I don't know if that's the center or not, but we're just going to say that it is. Scooch it over just a little bit. So I have missed crafting and all that business live with you guys. But I'm back. And, oh my gosh, you guys, with these zippers that I found, I made this morning. And I am very excited about it. It was super easy. It's easier to do it than to get it on. But I used one of those leather cuff bracelets and a zipper, and I made a beautiful zipper flower that is the same style. Well, I can't get it done up right now, but anyways, we're going to make the same style zipper flower for this project, and I think you're going to love it. I'm going to look on Amazon this afternoon to see if there's anywhere that you can order zippers, like the old ones that have the metal teeth. Okay, so let's see. I feel like this still needs to go over a little bit further. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of this glittering silver chalk paste. I need to order a new one because mine is old and a little bit dry. And I'm going to mix it up right here on a paper plate. I want more silver. This silverish color is going to pull out the silver in the zipper that we're going to use. And we're going to use some of the buttons too, so it should be really fun. Well, hey everyone, I see lots of you guys hopping on. Thanks for joining me. My desk is a complete disaster, complete. But let me see if I can get, this is better. Okay, so this is my piece of canvas stuck. I hope this is relatively centered, but if it isn't, there's nothing we can do about it at this point. I am just doing the flowers, the flower part of this stencil. We're not going to do any of the words because my embroidery hoop that we're using, which is one of the things I found while I was in Oregon, it is not big enough to do the whole stencil. So that's one of the things I do love about these though is, oops, did I go down too far? A little, almost, is how you can use all or just part of a stencil. You don't necessarily have to use the whole thing. Just peek. Okay, it's a little teeny bit off center. I'm going to throw my stencil over here in my tub of water face down until I can get out to the kitchen to clean it off. And we'll put our lids back on and move these to the side. Throw my squidgy and my little stir sticks in here. And this is going to need to dry somewhat because we're going to glue our flowers onto this. Okay, so let me show you now, while we're waiting for that to dry, how to create the flowers using zippers. And they're going to look like this, but they're obviously not going to be quite this big. Okay, to make this one, what I did is I took my zipper, it was this one, and it was super long, and I unzipped it. Okay, so it's unzipped. And then I cut lengths that were 3 inches long. All right? And I cut 8. So you're going to need 8 3-inch long cuts of just one side of your zipper. If you want, and this is so easy, you guys, I saw people online saying that it was really hard. This type of flower is easy peasy. If you want, you could just cut 4 from one side of your zipper and 4 from the other. But you need a total of 8 pieces that are 3 inches long if you want your flower to be like this big, which is pretty big. I'm going to do smaller, and I'm using this one. All right, it did not have a zipper on it, but that does not matter. Okay, I'm just going to pull it apart, and we're going to do 2.5 inches, roughly. Okay, so let me pull this apart, and let's trim this. And you can cut zippers. You're just going to cut in between the little teeth. Okay, so I need 8 of these that are roughly 2.5 inches long. Did not cut any of these in advance. So these are going to be smaller than the last one, than the one on that bracelet. And this particular zipper was so wrinkled, probably because it had been taken out of whatever it was in and stashed in a Ziploc bag for who knows how long. So I ironed it to get it to go flat. These are metal teeth, but you can cut in between them. And you could do this project with a zipper pull, with a zipper that has plastic teeth if you want, but I don't think it will be as pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to cut 4 from this other side. Let's trim the end up just a little bit. We are going to be doing lots of zipper projects over the next few months. I had no idea that I would fall in love with zippers, but oh my gosh, they are so awesome. And there are so many things that you can do with them. I spent several hours on Pinterest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need one more. Looking at a zillion different things that you could make. So I need one more. And I'm making this one shorter, smaller. So this one is 2.5 inches, roughly, long. But the bigger one is 3 inches, and you need 8 pieces. Okay, so I have 8 little pieces. And then what you're going to need is something to build it on. And I'm using more of this canvas duck fabric, like what we stenciled on to go on the embroidery hoop. And I made a couple different sizes. I made this size and I made this size. And I'll tell you how big they are. This one's about 1.5. And this one's about not quite 1 1/4. All right, let's build a really little one first, since these are 2.5 inches. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your zipper and you're gonna bend it like that ribbon that is used for all different things. And you're just gonna glue it. You could use, if you want, you know, some heavy duty regular glue, but I am opting to use hot glue. That one's kind of crinkled. Okay. So I'm just going to quick glue. They're a little bit easier to handle when, so this is what they look like when they're longer. And the zipper's going to be on the outside. So can you see the zipper? I bent it around and it's on the outside. One side and here's the other. What do you guys think so far? I see lots of thumbs going up. If you're liking the idea of this, it's going to look like this, sort of. If you're liking the idea of this, do this. Or tell me in the comments. I came home from Oregon wishing that I had bought every single package of zippers that they had at this thrift store. I'm like, why didn't I? They were $1 and $2. I don't know why I didn't. I bought a package that had a bunch of cream. I bought a package, 2 packages that had this dark color. I bought a package that had a bunch of gray. Oh, here it is. And then I bought a package that had blue jean zippers. And we'll figure out something to do with those as well. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Okay, here's the last one. Somebody just says they want to run out and get some zippers since they don't have any. That was Terry Stone. I'm going to look on Amazon, you guys, to see if you can purchase these, like a package of them that are old. And I will let you know this afternoon. Okay, I have 8 of these. Yep, a ton of glue strings. Let's get rid of some of that. All right, and then I'm going to take one of my little teeny circles. You could build these on felt, any kind of fabric. You could build them really on anything. And I'm just going to glue them out towards the edge. A little flower. Take off my glue gun. Okay, that's better. So I'm going to do the top and then the bottom, and there's 8 pieces. This is going to be the front, and it has the these open this way. Okay, and then I'm going to do the 2 sides. I'll lift this up in just a second and show you where these are in relation to the edge. So I just glued 4 on, and then we'll put 4 in the spaces in between, and I'm just gonna glue them on top of the teeth and all of the previous one. You are probably going to get some hot glue on your fingers doing this project, so I definitely recommend that you use a low temperature hot gluing device. So that has 7 on there, and I'm going to do the last one. This is what that looks like right now. And you could just plunk a button that would be super pretty right in the center. Or tomorrow, I'm going to show you, let me just grab one. Tomorrow I'm going to show you something exciting that I'm really excited about. I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Totally Dazzled, and I have my own package that you guys, I was able to select the pieces, and they remind me of vintage buttons. I know some of us love that super blingy look. Me, it's okay, but I'm a little more, I like a little more understated. So this is what I'm going to show you, and we'll use some of these tomorrow. And I'll get you my link tomorrow, and I'll tell you all about it tomorrow, because I am super excited. Okay, so this is what I have, and I could have done, put a button in the center, but what I want to do instead is just curve a circle in the center with another piece of zipper. So I'm just kind of going around the edges and bending it to get as close as a circle as I possibly can. This is going to give the center of the flower an outline that kind of matches the zipper look of the petals. If you guys missed the beginning, you're definitely going to want to come back and watch this whole video so that you can see the specifics of how this is done, how many pieces you need, the sizes, all that. Cut this off. This is what that is looking like right now. Of course, every single one is going to look different based on what color zipper, how wide your zipper is. Look at this one. This is kind of a pinky cream color. This one's kind of almost a greenish color, but this is what I've got right here. Okay, and then we are going to put a button in the center of ours. But you know what? I might do one more row. Let me see how that would look. I think it'll be too small if I do that. I think we're going to just go with it as it is right here. And let me pull my little canvas over. Let's put it on. It's not fully dry. I can tell you that right now. May end up adding something else to it over here on this side so it doesn't look quite so lopsided. Anyways, so what the plan is that these will be the little flowers. And this one is pretty big now that I'm looking at it. So I might do the next ones. Scooch my flower petals in further towards the center to make the total size of the flower be smaller. What do you guys think so far? Let me show you with this one another way that you can finish these. You could finish using the same zipper that you're basically just going to roll up and glue it as you're rolling. Once you get started rolling it, see, then you're just going to roll it to be as big or as little as you want, and this can become the center of your flower as well. And it doesn't have to be rolled exactly straight, which is good because I'm not rolling straight at all. Also, my hands are shaky today because I didn't really have any of my medicine that's helping me with my shaky hands while I was in Oregon visiting my son. So, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I just recently found out, and it's a huge relief, that I have essential tremors, which just make my hands kind of shaky. But it has no other bad things. I don't have anything super serious. And my doctor, my neurologist gave me a prescription for something that will help, which I didn't have. I've had some of it today, but I didn't have any of it while I was in Oregon. So, okay, and this can keep going as big or as little as you want it. Let's keep rolling. I want it bigger. Liz says she has so much in craft supply she doesn't know what to do. Oh boy, Liz, if you could see my craft stash, you would probably be horrified that I have accumulated so much. Let's just cut this off and go with what this is right now. I just can't ever pass up vintage things. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And I'm going to put some glue in here. And then I'm going to try to kind of push that back in as flat as I can. Like this. And then we would just add it right here. Get it as centered as possible. Look how super easy that was. Okay, if you don't like how tall it is standing up, the other thing you could do is you could cut this shorter. And roll the zipper up shorter. So it's not the full side of it. It's a little more challenging to get a hold of when it's shorter. I'm just going to roll just a little bit just to show you. So see, it's shorter than this one, which is pretty elevated because I used the full length, the full edge side of a zipper. This could go right here. Let's do that. I used ink on this project, you guys, to do the stencil. It was a combination of cool gray ink mixed with glittering silver to do just the floral part of the stencil. And I'm going to push this over to the side, and maybe it'll make it look like it's not quite so off-center. Yeah. Glue some of these little bits down. Oh, okay, so what I was going to tell you is I used ink for this project, but I did not heat set it, and that is okay. It's not going to ever get washed. So it doesn't, it could remain a little bit sticky, but it will be just fine, even though I didn't heat set it. If it was a t-shirt, a tea towel, a tote bag, something that I knew could possibly get wet or would need to be washed at any future point, then I would definitely heat set it. What do you guys think? So let's do one more, and I'm going to do another small one, and let's do it with a slightly different color. Let's do it with one of these silvers. That could be, well, no, that has a gold here. I didn't get this one ironed, so I don't know that I want to use this to make the petals just yet. And I didn't get this one ironed either, because see, they're all crumpled up, and you really need this to be ironed flat in order to, okay, this is not bad. This will work. And first thing I'm going to do is cut off the zipper. And of course I'm going to hang on to that because we can use that for a future something. And let's make these about the same size. So let's go 2.5 inches. And I'm just going to cut. Hopefully I have enough here. This would be better if I opened my zipper up. I'm wanting to cut in between the zipper teeth. Yay, I think I'm going to have enough. We won't probably have enough for this center. We'll have to come up with something different for that. And don't use your best scissors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some on this side. Okay, I have 8 pieces now. And then I'm going to just quickly get these all ready to go. And then I'll show you how we're going to glue them in closer in the center. Hey, and if you guys like these button projects, be looking here on DIY Dreaming later today, because I'm going to look to see if I can find a source for vintage zippers for you guys. And feel free to sprinkle. And just know that we'll be doing a good bit of these projects, like this bracelet right here. Look at how pretty that is. Some of these pieces look like they have a little bit of rest on them. So I'm going to fold them so that this rest right here, well, it might still be visible. Oh well. If you missed the beginning where I talk about the dimensions and all of that, come back when I am not live anymore and you can watch the replay. I will put a link to the replay in the comments as well. Okay, I have 8 of these pieces done. And let's start gluing them, but let me make this just a smidge smaller. Cannot cut a circle. Okay, so I just start with the top and the bottom. I'm going to do the sides. I have so many glue strings here. Yeah, this flower is going to be smaller. I will show you. Elaine says she definitely wants to try this. Tell me in the comments, everyone. I mean, you can see how super easy this is. I had several people tell me after I posted yesterday that these turn out really pretty. Theirs was probably a different style of flower, but that they were hard. And I'm like, this is really not hard as far as I can tell at all. Okay, so here's this flower. And do I have enough zipper to do anything meaningful? We'll try. I'll use what I have. It's going to have to be 2 separate pieces. Yeah, this will work. Okay, I have almost half of it done. We'll just use this other teeny tiny little piece to finish it up. You should see how messy my glue is right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's just go right to here. Well, it looks like I missed. I don't know how I did that. I missed that part at the bottom. But anyways, you can see from this that this one is a little bit smaller. Is it only for metal zippers? No, I think you could do it with plastic zippers, which I had a whole bunch of them. What did I do with them? Let's see. Oh. Some of these bags had plastic zippers in them. It's just not going to be quite as pretty because the teeth don't show up as well. But yes, you could use plastic zippers too. Okay, and let's finish this one off. And I will clean it up because it is covered in glue. Let's do this button right here. Oh my gosh. I may come back and try to do all my flowers in the cream though. What do you guys think? Kathy says she loves my shirt. This was a craft project and a Christ in Crafting that we did several months ago, and I can reshare this video today. Because this was one of my favorite projects, and these sleeves, I stenciled the inside of them so that I could fold them up, and this cuff would have a design on it. So I will definitely share that. So here was the big one. These were 3-inch pieces, and this is just one of those leather cuffs that I covered with a whole piece of the zipper that I laid. Let's see, what do I have here that I can show? I can show a little bit with this. Then I just glued 2 pieces together. So that it would have the zipper teeth on both sides. And then I glued that to the cuff. This might have a smaller button even on top of this. But that's it. That's what I wanted to show you guys. I hope you liked it. If you have an idea of what I could put down here, maybe I'll do another stencil or something down here that says something. Because it is off center, unfortunately. And my piece of fabric was so small that I didn't have a lot of options for how I cut it. Oh, thank you guys. So do it this or this. Don't hesitate to ask questions. I'll get all the links out and the supply list all organized right now. And then if you just ask for it in the comments, I'll get it for you. We used 2 colors of ink. We used one of these little squeegees that come in a lot of different colors. We used canvas duck cloth, an embroidery hoop, the zipper pieces, the stencil. And it was seriously easy, and I think it's gonna be really beautiful. And I was kind of thinking possibly that we might do something around the edge with some of this lace that I found also in Bend, Oregon. You can use new zippers and coffee stain them. Yes, absolutely. And I have no idea how much a new zipper would cost. Probably not a lot. But let me just show you a couple here. The bigger, in my opinion, the better. Look how big this is. We're going to make bracelets. We're going to make some cute necklaces. What else? Oh, I have been studying to find out what kind of projects we could make with zippers, and I have come across a ton of different ideas, so be ready. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Hope that you enjoyed this and that it gave you some ideas. Feel free to sprinkle, feel free to ask questions, let me know if you want links. And I will see you guys later. Possibly later today for a